these announcements and all the posts that I just saw are available on, like if someone logs into this portal or the app on the phone, that might click up, but not otherwise. Not necessarily it links back to our intranet site or the hub. It can't be linked there, isn't it? So
no. Well,
only if they go into the portal.
Correct. There's a reason for that. I mean, we can link to certain things. It does take some API integration in certain things, and we can link to them. But there's a reason for why we want things to happen on the platform, and that is all about the analytics. So the analytics engine that sits at the back of all of this reads information. So it reads how much recognition is happening on the platform. It reads who's recognizing. It reads, people engaging and rewarding and redeeming. So all that, like Jake's actually jumped into it already, but it's a lot of information that's useful for someone from an admin perspective to recognize if somebody is on the precipice of leaving the business, how people are engaged with the company, and to increase that EVP and retention, right? So that's why the importance of the analytics that sits on the back end. And a part of what we do is we work really closely with you every month or every quarter, and we come and sit down and we talk about what's happening across your platform. We'll give you a report and say, these are your analytics, this is what it looks like. But what are you seeing across the platform? We're seeing people are not engaging. If we're seeing a bit of a dip go down in engagement or logins, why is that happening? Is it a Christmas period? Maybe that's why. Or you know what I mean, right? So we want to have those really thorough kind of conversations with you. So it, again, from a KPI perspective for your business or a goal perspective for your business, they all align. And we can assist, we can run campaigns through this to say, okay, we're finding engagements going down. Let's run a campaign together to spike that engagement back up so people are back involved with your business, back involved with your company, and they're invested, right? So that's what we're all about, is that engagement. And this is all about giving you user insights and giving you that understanding of what that looks like.
The reason why I was asking that question was if someone has to give as a manager, say I give a reward to one of my team members, or I make an announcement. If there is something in the form of or let's take just reward for the example's sake. So if I'm rewarding a particular individual, and if say they haven't logged into this portal for 1 week, they wouldn't know, or there is no notification email or anything that tells them that they have received something.
No, it does. So if they've received a reward, they'll get a notification email. So if they're being recognized, reward, they'll get a notification in here, and they'll get a notification via email as well. So that's
ResMed email address.
Correct.
You mean?
Correct. Again, it's that link to your HRIS system. And everything will come through ResMed email. So it will show as being an Avidity reward, like it's been a reward being sent through to you, but it will be tagged as, so-and-so has sent you this reward, claim it here, and they'll get a gift card or whatever in their email box. So they can just pick that gift card up and redeem as they wish. Because there has to be a feedback loop, right? Otherwise, how would they know? Absolutely, that definitely happens.
Okay.
Another thing that might be interesting for you as well through this, Sophia, is that we actually been just sort of in talks with companies that provide gift cards, as in a monetary value that you can load up with different foreign exchange. So basically, they cover predominantly the most countries in the world anyway, the most common ones. Where so you can actually then give sort of like a MasterCard would be the case as a gift to your employees as well too. So we're actually in the sort of talks with those sort of guys. So there's that method as well too, which covers that global range, and so it's not just locally as well.
That's a bit of a 2022 integration that Jake's talking about, is that because what we notice is that we have a lot of multinationals that we work with. We actually have a company that we work with, and one individual, the CFO of the business, he has his team spread throughout APAC, and he spends $300,000 per annum on gift cards. Now, the problem is that he sends $1,000 AUD gift card to someone in Singapore, and the person in Singapore is like, "Thank you very much, but 1,000 AUD is not 1,000 Singapore dollars, right?" And that's the problem that they see. So we've now stumbled across this, like Jake was saying, these partnerships that we're trying to create an integration with, where he has the capability to go, "Here's 1,000 Singapore dollars," right? Very different from 1,000 Australian dollars, right? And that means that for that individual, they're getting the full value of that reward. Even though from a monetary perspective, for him, it's the same value, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. But for that individual, it's like, okay, well, it's actually not 1,000 AUD, it's actually 995 Singapore dollars, right? So they're like, yeah, okay, great, thank you, but we're just not getting full value. So we want to make sure that we're being able to tick those boxes off. So we're in talks at the moment of how we can integrate that type of digital wallet and that type of digital currency transference globally. So, if someone in Australia manages a team and someone in Latin America, they can go, here you go, here's 1,000 pesos, well done, which is equivalent to how.
So ability to reward in the local currency, you mean?
Correct, but it's not integrated yet. We're in the
Okay.
conversations of doing so. We're just trying to find the cleanest and the best methodology to do that. But we find that this is a solution for a lot of multinationals. And that solves a lot of issues when gifting. Yeah. So we're
We're going to be seeing more of this for sure.
yeah. So that's why
We have managers in Australia who have team members sitting in the US.
correct.
So
So that's exactly why we're integrating and implementing a system like that. We just want to make sure that that integration is a clean integration.
Sure.
But definitely it's in the roadmap to be able to deliver something like that.
Sure. Sorry, Sunil, I do have a hard stop.
That's why I think we're actually done, Sophia. So
Okay.
yeah, we tried to be as thorough as we could so you can get the whole scope of the platform.
Sure.
So we really do appreciate your time. I do know you have to run. Is there, I guess the follow-up from our perspective, just a few questions is, have you allocated any type of budget for something like this and what that might look like?
No, to be honest, no.
Yep.
There is no budget allocation at this point in time, but definitely something that, like I said right in the beginning, once I know what's an indicative cost code from, say 3 or 4 vendors
Yep.
who can deploy the platform globally for us, then it is a worthwhile conversation, to go ahead with my manager who is the VP and the CPO.
Yep.
So then it's about running it past through the CFO and making sure what are the renewal costs every year, maintenance cost if any,
Yep.
etc. And basically all that goes into your quote. So that would be helpful to understand.
From a maintenance perspective, we do everything for you. So that's $0. I can tell you that right now. You've given me the numbers of your employee spread right now. So what I can do is I can base it off that number. And I'll send out a proper investment proposal through to you. The other question was, which just slipped my mind, but like I said, we do all that kind of rollout and setup and all of that with you. It's just about making sure that time frames are in there appropriately and correctly. The largest thing I would ask is an appropriate rollout plan, because like I said, the one hurdle that you're going to encounter with any business is rolling out en masse can be problematic. Just a suggestion here, but my suggestion would be roll out in a single location first, move it to another location, move it to another location, and move it to another location. Or you could do 1 or 2 or 3 locations at once, maybe your prime hotspots. So things, let's just say you want to do the UK, the US, and Australia first. That covers 80% of your employee pool. Probably the best way to roll it out, because you know that you're getting mass coverage, and you're not, you're not shorthanding anyone accidentally, if that makes sense. Because you want to make sure that if you, for example, if you roll out in Taiwan and no one's got any rewards in Taiwan, the person's going to be sitting there getting $100 gift cards from Woolworths that Woolworths doesn't exist in Taiwan, right? So you want to make sure that that rollout plan is quite clean. That would just be my suggestion. And happy to kind of do that with you and sit down with you on what we suggest would be the best rollout plan. I would assume that if San Diego is your main hub and the lion's share of employees, might be the best place to start. Since you're based in Australia, that might be the best place to start. Maybe both at once. Or if you've got some people that are predominantly sitting in the UK, that might be the best place to start, or those three areas together at once. So we can chat about that and have a look at what all that looks like. I guess.
And what may be also helpful, Suhail, when I don't get the quote information from you, is also the kind of client or the tie-up that you have with the different vendors, not the client, but the vendor base or the vendor database that you have. It's because it will give us, and if you could provide it by country, and it could be an overlap. And that's fine, but at least, it will help me kind of, when I'm talking to the stakeholders, some people, business partners, etc., it helps me kind of ask them, are you kind of familiar with this vendor base, and, do you think this is going to be a frequently used, option?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Tools. So that's one thing that I would like to kind of understand, because I may know of brands that are like really global, anywhere you name it, people know it, but there could be brands which are very US centric, very, UK centric, for instance.
Yeah. Well, that makes absolute sense. I'm happy to do that. Like, look, one of our partners is Expedia, right? So Expedia, basically, anywhere you log on, you can use Expedia, right? Anywhere in the world. But again, something like, the local coffee shop, that's not going to be relevant for the US or UK.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we kind of try and make sure that there is some sort of presence there. And we're always expanding that portfolio. And we're actually looking at new integrations to make sure that we solve the problems for those areas of the globe as well. But happy to do that. No problem at all.
Sure. Look, I have to drop off. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I really thank you for your time today. And
Likewise.
It's an interesting platform
Thank you.
to explore, and I'm keen to kind of get more information from you in what we just concluded on.
Oh, brilliant.
So I can, kind of have further conversations and circle back to you.
Yep. Absolutely. No problems at all, Sophia. Thank you so much. Sorry to hold you. We'll let you go, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sophia. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Tazi.
Bye.